In the days of old, there lived a monk named Barsisa, famed for his devotion and purity. His piety shone so bright that his name spread from east to west. Every sick or weary soul who sought his help would send him a vessel of water, and when Barsisa breathed his blessing upon it, the drinker would be healed at once. People came to believe that his breath itself carried divine power. In time, the fame of his miracles grew so great that physicians ceased their trade. For who could reveal a saint whose prayers cured all? But the cursed one, the old enemy of mankind, grew envious. Satan, lurking in the shadows, burned with jealousy and rage, seeking a way to bring this man low. One night he gathered his infernal offspring and said, "Who among you will rid me of this torment? Who will ensnare this saint and make him fall into ruin?" Then one of his dark sons rose and said, "Father, this task is mine. Trust me, and I shall cool the fire in your heart." Satan rejoiced. "Verily, you are my true son and the light of my blind eyes." The devil child pondered deeply. No snare binds men tighter than the beauty of women. Gold can tempt, yet gold loves no man in return. Bread can be desired, yet bread does not seek the hungry. But the love of women burns from both sides. The man desires her, and she desires him. Thus they meet halfway, as two pickaxes strike one wall from either side until the stones give way. For when the heart digs from both directions, the wall of restraint soon crumbles. And so the fiend set out, seeking a woman fair enough to ruin a saint. He roamed far and wide, his mind aflame with mischief, until he found the daughter of the king, the jewel of the realm, radiant as the morning star. The devil entered her mind and made her mad. The king, in despair, summoned every physician and sage, but none could cure her. Then the devil, in the guise of a humble monk, came before the king and said, "If you wish your daughter to be freed from this affliction, take her to Barsisa, that he may read incantations and prayers over her and save her from her suffering." The king saw no other remedy and heeded his word, taking the daughter to Barsisa. The ascetic prayed, and the demon momentarily released her, allowing her to recover so that the king would trust this holy man again. They brought the daughter back, and there was much rejoicing. After a time, the devil made her mad once more. The king's people were helpless. The devil came in the same form and said, "Take her to Barsisa again, but do not bring her back quickly. Let her remain for a long period, until he himself sends words that she is wholly cured. When they brought the daughter to Barsisa, they said, "Let her remain with you for a long while, until she is completely healed, as we have been instructed." The princess was left in Barsisa's care. Thus, in that lonely hermitage, there were only the monk, the maiden, and the lurking devil. Time passed. Whispers turned to glances, glances to desire, and desire to sin. Barsisa grew deeply desirous of the daughter and lay with her, and the maiden conceived. The sinful monk and the ailing maiden sat in sorrow, burdened by the weight of what had come to pass, and fearful of what the morrow might bring. Then one night the devil came again, this time in the guise of a weary traveler who had lost his way. He knocked upon Barsisa's door and pleaded for a shelter for a single night. Barsisa, moved by pity and unaware of the deceit before him, welcomed the stranger in, offering him a little food and a place to rest. As the night deepened and the candles burned low, he asked, "What causes your anxiety?" Barsisa related the tale of the daughter's pregnancy. A strange unease filled the hermitage. The next morning, as the traveler prepared to depart, he leaned close to Barsisa and whispered softly in his ear, "You are a man of God, yet even the purest hearts may be shadowed by their deeds. Beware, for secrets have a voice. There is but one way. Kill her and bury her in secret. Tell the people she died of illness. Thus shall your shame be hidden." Barsisa's heart trembled. Fear triumphed over faith. He did as the fiend advised. He killed the maiden and buried her in the earth. Satan then appeared in a form suggesting the daughter was cured and commanded them to come and take her. The king's servants and chamberlains arrived and saw the girl. Barsisa said, "The daughter is dead, and I have buried her." They returned and offered their condolences. But the devil was not yet done. He took the form of a monk again and came to the king. He said, "O my king, do you know where your daughter is?" Barsisa told me she died," said the king. "He lies," said the fiend. He sinned with her, she conceived, and he slew her to hide his crime. If you doubt me, dig beneath his hermitage. There you will find the truth. The king's face darkened with wrath. He rose and sat down 7 times, agitated and furious, as if standing upon a fire. Thereafter, the king mounted his horse with a company of men and rode toward the hermitage of Barsisa. He entered and demanded, "Where is my daughter?" Barsisa replied, "O my lord, she died, and I buried her." The king asked, "Why did you not inform us?" Barsisa answered, "Oh, I was occupied with my prayers and found no time." The king said, "What if the contrary of this should be revealed?" The ascetic spoke harshly, thinking he could prevail, but to no avail. The kings commanded that the spot indicated be dug up, and they brought the slain daughter forth. Barsisa was bound hand and foot, a rope placed around his neck, and a great crowd gathered. Barsisa spoke to himself, "O vile soul, you rejoiced that your prayer was answered, and you were glad that you were held dear and mighty in the eyes of the people, and you delighted in their praise and applause, and feared that their approval might lessen. But in truth, all that was viper and serpent. The approval of the people is a venomous snake." He sighed, but it was too late. They brought him beneath the high gallows, placed the ladder, and lowered the rope. As the noose was placed around his neck, Satan appeared before him in his true form and said, "It was I who brought all this upon you, and still I have the power to save you. Your deliverance is in my hands. Bow to me, and I shall free you." Barsisa cried, "How can I bow with this rope around my neck?" The devil replied, "A knot of the head will suffice." And so, desperate for life, Barsisa nodded. At that very instant, the rope tightened around his neck, and the devil cried out, "Verily, I am quit of you." And so Barsisa died in disgrace.